This might come as a surprise to you, but I wasn't born and raised in the South. I'm a natural born Yankee from up north, and I moved here in the South about 3 months ago. And I have to say that moving here in the South has taught me quite a bit. I've learned a lot about the culture here. I know I got a way to go, but I've learned a few things. And I wanted to put this video together on a serious note to try to say a few things to some of you Northerners especially, to prepare you in case you ever decide to come to the South, so that you're not overwhelmed by culture shock, so that you're not thrown into a fit of despair when you see that you can't fit in here. And so I wanted to give you a list of some things. I'm down in Middle Tennessee here and learned a lot. Just want to give you about 15 things, 15 facts about the South that'll help you prepare you if you plan on coming down here sometime. First, you need to understand that there are more Baptist churches down here than there are people. There are more Baptist churches than there are people. Second, and this kind of adds a little bit to the first, there are more Dollar General stores down here than there are churches. There are more Dollar General stores down here than there are Baptist churches. Third, in the South, you don't season your meat with a little salt. You season your salt with a little meat. In fact, I never knew that ocean water is actually a marinade in the South. And you can check for yourself. You'll find it in aisle 3 at Publix or aisle 7 at Kroger. Fourth, the quality of any particular food is not determined by the taste. See, I know you're used to that up in the north, but that's not how it goes down here. The quality of any particular food is not determined by the taste, but by its friability, which is the only reason why in the South, okra has become more edible than poison ivy and slug guts. Number 5, some of y'all up in the north like to donate blood, and that's a good thing for good causes. Well, I try to donate blood here down in the South, and they do accept blood. But I went to the local blood drive in the elementary school, and after draining me of a weighty pint of my blood, they wound up discarding the entire donation when they found out that my blood type was not sweet tea. So you didn't know that, but sweet tea is a blood type down here. And in fact, sixth, speaking of sweet tea, they don't even sell sugar in the South. Sweet tea has actually been found and proven to be sweeter than sugar. Even their recipes take this into account. I was making pancakes for my family, and I borrowed a Southern recipe, and it called for 3 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of baking powder, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and 3 tablespoons of sweet tea. And I have to say, they were the tastiest pancakes I ever ate. You didn't even need any maple syrup. 7th, another extremely important caution for you Northerners who plan on making your way to the South. It is extremely important, especially during summertime, that you remain hydrated. And so, for example, you make sure you have a gallon of water nearby at all times, and you take a couple of very big swigs as soon as you finish mowing your driveway. Number 8, ladies, take note. If your man comes home excited and giddy, and he wants to surprise you by saying he's going to take you out for a romantic meal, you make sure that you're properly dressed for the Waffle House. 9, my brothers, if someone from the South asks you who the 16th president of the United States is, you make sure that your answer is Jefferson Davis. And then, 10th, when your boys reach those teenage years and it's time for that talk, you don't give them that talk in the backyard or on some fishing trip. It takes place at the shooting range. And 11th, yeah, the South is so proud of their weapons. I went to a baby depot to buy diapers, and I had to walk past 3 aisles full of knives and swords before coming to the baby wipes section. 12th, now if you don't like bugs and insects, don't even step foot in the South. However, you do learn to adapt real quick. I can remember when I first arrived, I was swatting at all kinds of flies and gnats and mosquitoes constantly. It drove me nuts. And the more I swatted, the more they multiplied. But I came to realize I had it all wrong. I learned that it's much easier to cooperate with them. In fact, in due time, they'll become some of your closest friends. Heck, I name them. Just the other day, I was fixing a pipe in the bathroom, and I had Pete the stink bug hand me a 5/8 wrench while Fred the brown recluse fetched a dry washcloth to soak up the excess water. 13. Southerners do love their old trucks. They love their old trucks. Oh, they do. Old Jake's wife once grabbed him by the collar and said, "Now, Jake, you keep pouring all sorts of money into that Ford, and we ain't got nothing left. Heck, the mortgage ain't been paid in 6 months, and we're about to lose the roof over our heads." Jake turned to her and said, "You know, dear, you're right. Pack a bag and an umbrella, and first chance I get, I'll fix that rusted out old hole over the passenger side of the vehicle so you can sleep comfortably through the night." 14. And in the South, they love their animals. I mean, they love them. Don't matter if they're fried, baked, boiled, smoked, or barbecued, they love them. I was at my friend Winston's house, and I had the privilege of holding the snake, petting the squirrel, and hugging the possum before he put them back in the Tupperware container and closed the cupboard. And then 15th, finally, the most unloving thing you can do in the South. If you want to infuriate a purebred Southerner, don't ever, ever say, "You guys." It's y'all. There are many things that a Southerner will forgive you for, but this is where they draw the line. I once made the mistake of forgetting this cardinal principle, and boy, was I sorry. I always thought that a Glock 19 was quite small, but if you push hard enough, it can actually reach your tonsils. I had to force myself to drink a large sweet tea to atone for that one. Saying "you guys" is like shedding any and every ounce of South that you have gained for the duration of your time here. It's like the instant reset button, and only a very, very, very large cup of sweet tea can prime the pump again. But even then, the transfer process from Yankee to Rebel must start over right from the beginning. Well, friends, I hope that these 15 facts and principles will be helpful to you to avoid some of the culture shock that I had to go through. And as I continue to grow and learn, I will share my insights with you in the future. So you guys y'all have a good night now. Honey, can you pull me out another gallon of that sweet tea?